Good morning, everybody, and welcome to my channel. Today's video, very simple. You are literally creating everything in your life. We go through different stages of this idea of I'm a deliberate creator, but sometimes we don't exactly understand what it means 100%. So what I've learned, especially recently, tremendous clarity coming in, once again, from this idea of this accident with my foot and how the healing has been happening, miraculous healing. It's pretty amazing. But a lot of it comes from these type of ideas, this idea that I am creating everything. Well, what does that mean? Because that's the secret, right? It means that I'm creating this phone, I'm creating this video, I'm creating my piano, I'm creating the sky and the clouds, I'm creating this body, I'm creating other bodies. We have to kind of understand you are creating everything somehow from inside your consciousness. It doesn't have to be understood all the way, but it does need to be known because it's one of the universal understandings. And once you get that you are the creator of your experience and you take that power back for yourself and recognize you are creating everything, that nothing is coming from an outside place. To give you an example, if you're walking down the store and there's 4 or 5 people in the aisle. Now it looks like 4 or 5 people and their lives and their past and everything that's there is right there. So there's 4 or 5 and you all have different paths, you're all interceding, you're all coming together and so forth and so on. But this is not true. See, and that's the most important thing, is there is no past, there's only now. And the more you realize that there's not 4 or 5 people there from different walks of life. Yeah, there are 4 or 5 souls that have gone through many, many adventures. But from each one of our perspective, they only can radiate a part of us or a part of the Father or a part of Source. We can't dig into who they think they are and their past and everything. And that's what we've been kind of doing without intermingling with ourselves. So that's not true. There's 4 or 5 versions of you. You see, mirrors of you. And they can either represent 4 or 5 versions of Source, including you, or the ego part of us can say, well, there are 4 or 5 different people. But I assure you, those 4 or 5 different people are not going to match what they think of themselves. They're only going to match what you think. So therefore, it's unnecessary. It's waste. Anything we think about others is absolute waste. It doesn't match what they think about themselves. We hold it in our mind, and then we simply blame them when they act out. So this understanding that I am creating everything in the moment is the beginning of truth and the beginning of wisdom. It's the beginning of let it be, right? That idea of let it be, like the last video. The reason we let it be is because there is no past. As I look at my foot, I have 2 choices as I've been working through this healing is I need to fix you because of this, or wipe it all away and just simply say, you are strong, you are beautiful, you are flowing. Do you understand? Wipe it away. We would call that consuming the past with that fire element that we all are. Heart is a fire element. We consume the past and we just see it as it is. It is permanent. All of this has a permanency to it, a permanency of Source, but it also has a temporary form that is coming in and out. If we identify with the temporary form, we're going to go all over the place. But if we identify with that permanence underneath, goodness, love, appreciation, joy, there's this permanence in every creation because it all comes from God. It's all the one Source moving into everything, you see. It's awesome. In Tai Chi, we create the energy through the legs and the ground. The energy moves. But then the arms create different ideas and they let go. And the arms come up here and then they let go. You see, they kind of take the example of the manifestations in our life. They're here 1 minute, gone the next. But the energy that moves through us is permanent. And it's always flowing. Flowing means good. Flowing means healed. Does that make sense? right? Flowing means joy. That's what flow is. There's nothing impeding it. There's nothing stopping it from moving. Therefore, that's what joy is. That's what love is. That's what good is. Does that make sense? So God created and said, you are good. When he said you are good, he put it in motion. He gave that energy of himself to his creations and allowed them to also create. So sit back, think about this. Just if you close your eyes, notice everything disappears. You see, it's all coming from within. Those of you that are doing meditation and raising your vibration, notice how the world changes with you. It's incredible. The more you recognize, we think that we're a separate being and the world's changing because we're changing inside, but it's not true. The world is changing to match us. So for a while now, I've had different parts of my life that seems to be pushing against me. Anyone ever experienced that? The body especially, and then maybe my business and money. And then also I had a lot of issues with anxiety, with moving out into the world, what we would call agoraphobia for a while back, many years ago. So there's this idea of fear coming back. Anyone feel that? Man, it's uncomfortable. You're just kind of dark and there's a murky cloud around you and so forth and so on. And it can come and go and come and go. Well, that's the receiving mode. See, what's happening is that as we believe that we are not creating everything, then we believe it has its own meaning and its own cause. When we believe it has its own meaning, then we become the effect of it. Does that make sense? So I'll explain it another way. If I believe that something can hurt me and I'm giving it this meaning, like let's say the foot, why is this happening? How did this happen? And I'm thinking about it, worrying about it, focusing on it. Then what happens? What I put out comes back. And that's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling the fear of what could happen. The fear of what could happen to your money. The fear of what could happen if this person does this, or if this happens, or if you lose this, or there's a lack here. Do you see? It's always this what if. You ever notice that? It's this what if could happen. So what's happening is that it's the receiving, the giving and the receiving that we talk about. It's always happening. And it's the receiving that's coming back to us and tearing us apart, so to speak. But the more we recognize that we're giving first and then receiving, this is the end of fear. Because once you realize that everything is coming from you, nothing is coming from outside, it's all coming from you, then you realize you can just simply give everything, all of your creations, satisfaction. Be satisfied with it, be loving with it, even just kind to it. And then that will be returned back to you, and there'll be no room for fear. Once you realize you're creating everything, as you walk around the world and learn to do small exercises of, I'm creating this moment. How do I want to feel is how I deliver what I give to my creations. Because they're only going to express back what you give to them. If I see the sky as beautiful and flowing, then I'm going to feel beautiful and flowing as I see it. It comes back to me. If I see the sky as I wish there was more clouds, I don't like the blue, it doesn't have a good color, then I'm going to feel that. You see? And then we start understanding, as I see the world, as I see others, as I see my creations, I will receive it back every single time tenfold. And that's where the fear and that's where the worry and that's where the doubt's coming from. If you look out into your bank account and say, what if I don't have that money? Or you see, you're going to receive that fear back, that worry and that lack back. If you look out your bank account and you say, I am satisfied with what I have, then you will receive that back. As you receive satisfaction back, let's say you look at your money and you say, I am satisfied with you, then you give it the okay to grow from your inner being, because satisfaction always connects to the higher self, to the inner being inside. And the inner being is what brings everything to you. It's the grower of your garden. So if you go outside and you look at your garden and all these different things in your garden, you say, I am satisfied with you and I love you and I appreciate you and I'm going to take care of you and I'm going to see you in a good way, then now your inner being, the power that's growing it, can bring more. But if you go out there and say, I don't like you and I wish you were like this and I don't know why you're like this, and you use your creations in that way, then you stop that force from being able to bless you. Does that make sense? Kind of sounds like some of the parables from the Bible, huh? That idea of we need to love our creations, or we need to be satisfied, or right out of the Genesis, right? God created and said it was good. That's what we're really looking to do. As you look out of the world and you see things, instead of judging them, try a practice of, I see you and you are good. And now you unlock all the blessings that will come into your life. But as soon as you say you're not good, you're lacking something, you are losing something, you are fearful to me, then now you will receive that back. And as you receive that back, you close all the doors to your blessing. And that's how the universal laws work. It really is that simple. That idea of I am the open door that no man can shut. What does he mean? He means walking around the world in a place of satisfaction, and then opening all doors to abundance. If you're satisfied with your money will grow. If you're satisfied with your body, then your body will get better and will become stronger and more youthful. If you're satisfied with your relationships will become stronger. If we're not satisfied, if we're pushing against them for any reason, then we stifle them and we stop the growth and we close that door completely, and now they can't move and they can't flow. Now, the ego mind always tries to say, well, they created this and they did this to me and this is this. And then what happens is then we judge and we blame, and then not knowing, here it comes back to us. You see, you have to sit with this truth and practice it on your own. There's a little practice I do every day where I stop and I say, I am creating this moment, regardless of where I am, regardless of anything. I am creating this moment and it is good. I'm going to find something satisfactory in this moment, in this place, in this situation, in this circumstance, whatever it is. I'm going to find satisfaction in it and allow it to talk to me and allow clarity to flow. That's a good one. I do it every hour. I try to remember, I am creating this moment and it is good. Or just bring the awareness back to who you are right now. And I have created this body. I am in this experience. I am an infinite being having this experience, and I am creating this moment. And I am satisfied with it right now. Remember, you really can't miss or lose anything because there's only one moment over and over and over. Be happy in it. Be joyful in it. As Bashar says, he says, you can just be happy no matter what comes in. And as Abraham Hicks says, find satisfaction regardless of your conditions and your circumstances, regardless of what's coming in. Because a lot of this are creations. We don't realize we're the ones giving it meaning and then receiving fear or worry or doubt back based on what we're giving. As we stop and just allow them to be, each one, or search for the good in everything you can find, as Jason Mraz says in his songs. Find something good, find something positive, find something good, find something positive. It will create motion. And now, the more you appreciate and the more we have satisfaction in our creations, and remember, we are creating everything, every single thing, the more it will come back to us and the better we will feel. The more we will recognize that it doesn't matter what the past or the ego mind is saying. We can literally erase it and start over at any time. At any time. And anything that's coming into you that's causing any kind of fear or pain, you can simply look at it and say, I have created you. I have created you. And I embrace you with love and appreciation. And most importantly, innocence. I embrace you with love and innocence, and you will stop the momentum that's moving in that direction. Love and innocence. Yesterday I had one of those big mosquito bites, and as soon as I saw it, I just simply said, I created you. I didn't blame the mosquito. You see, you have to take responsibility for everything. I created this experience, and therefore I see it with love and innocence. No blame, innocence. And within a few minutes, it was already just disappearing. And you could do that in everything in your life that's causing you some kind of discord. I see you with love and innocence. I am the creator of everything in my life. and I'm going to find satisfaction in my creations, and therefore I'm going to receive that satisfaction back. And before long, you will see that fear is something that is impossible in a world that is coming from you and back to you. I hope that you enjoyed this. Receive what you can. And please feel free to like this video if it's something that's calling you, and subscribe. And please, I love comments. If you ever need to get in touch with me, feel free to leave a comment. And as always, my unconditional love and appreciation.